record. I now recognize the gentleman from Puerto Rico, Mr. Hernandez, for 5 minutes of questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This hearing is about security preparedness, and what concerns me the most is that DHS has shown a consistent pattern of failing American citizens, the United States, the 50 states, the Commonwealths, and the territories in securing their reconstruction after natural disasters, after major events, and in securing their citizens and their residents from their policies. Now, this is a direct failure of leadership and policy at the DHS level. We have in place what I have to call a stupid policy that requires the DHS secretary to approve any expense over $100,000. And that is delaying the reconstruction and the projects in Puerto Rico and in many states that will prepare us to better handle major events or major natural disasters. And I've received outreach from constituents, projects like the Hector Solá Coliseum in Caguas, or projects like the backup generators from Fundación Comunitaria that give power and water to over 37,000 residents in Puerto Rico, are stalled because of this stupid policy. And I am concerned that as we speak of major events like the World Cup, like the Olympics, we are not ready to meet the demands of these events if we have not been able to meet the lesser demands of previous events. So, Mr. Nelson, it is my understanding that DHS owes Maryland nearly $1 billion in disaster-related expenses, including for costs that the federal government approved years ago. Can you describe the types of projects currently stalled because of the delays?
Yes, sir, and thanks for the question, because there has been an extreme delay, and what this also is causing is not just for these projects to be completed, similar to as they are in Puerto Rico, where we've had projects that are started, but we are uncertain if we'll be able to continue them because of the policy of the $100,000, but it's also the local time that these employees are investing into trying to manage these projects. Those are a lot of the same employees that are dedicated to special event planning and doing other emergency management activities that are now bogged down with the administrative, administrative burden of trying to manage this unpredictable nature.
And can you speak to how the timeline for disbursement has changed since this new policy was implemented?
Certainly. Well, I think it's fair to say that we don't know what the timeline is. There's consistent holds that are put for administrative review, and there's no real certainty on when the funds would be released. So we're still trying to rectify 25 and 24 funds. The future is really uncertain if we don't even know when those funds will be released. For example, we're on a deadline to accept awards by the end of 27th of February. However, those funds haven't been released, so we don't even know how can we accept them if there's an administrative hold. It gives us a very tight window by which we can do anything if we're not even notified in time to react.
So, if another major disaster were to strike tomorrow in Maryland, would your state be in a weaker position because of these funding delays?
Maryland will always lean in and take care of their people first. The governor is committed to doing that. However, it has greatly changed our posture and put more stress on our local governments and on our state budget of trying to always put public safety first and ensuring that, but other critical programs will likely have to sacrifice as a result.
So by extension, other states, commonwealths, and territories would also face, due to these policies, more strains, more risks, more adversity in accessing disaster funding and prevention capabilities.
And Maryland also realizes that we're in a position where we often lend assistance to other states and territories in a time of need. We'll be less positioned to do that because of decreasing capabilities and personnel. So it doesn't just impact Maryland, it impacts our ability to support other states and the regions because of our limited capability and needing to maximize our resources.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. I now recognize the gentlelady from South Carolina.